Good morning, my friends. Are we here? Did you guys interrupt your very busy days to come and hang out with me? That makes me so happy. If you are here, please let me know in the comments so that I know you guys can see me and hear me. And I'm super glad that you're here. And I am live streaming this from Anaheim. I'm actually here for VidCon. And good morning, Alyssa, Tanya. It's so good to hear from you guys. I decided to do this last minute. I told you guys I didn't know when I would be able to live stream, and I'm hoping that the technology all works for us. Terry's here, Kathleen, Holly. Hey, Humphrey ever after. I haven't had enough coffee this morning, I don't think. Pure Magical Adventures is here. Hey, Cindy's here. Cindy, AKA Disney Queen. Y'all need to check out her channel. Love her. Good morning, Ryan. All right, we have got a decent crowd. I don't know how long I'm going to stay on here. Maybe just 30 minutes. Good morning, Dawn. Because I need to get down to the convention center. My breakout sessions start in just a few minutes, but I did want to pop on here, chat with you guys. It has been such a great time so far, being at Disneyland, doing, Terry, I am not going to share my hotel for security purposes, but I will do a full review when I get home. You booked a magic sailing on September 1st out of Dover. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Is that the transatlantic crossing out of Dover? That's super interesting to me because I had thought about doing that particular crossing on the Disney Dream. Good morning, Denise. So really quick, what we're going to talk about today is any questions you guys have about Disneyland Resort, about Galaxy's Edge. If any of my creator friends are on here and you guys want to talk about, what was I? See, this is why I shouldn't try to do this without coffee. Okay, sorry. If any of my creator friends are on here and you have questions about VidCon, I'll try to get through as many things as I possibly can. If you have questions about crowds and all of that, 7-day Western European, oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. So, so far since I've been here, I've been in Galaxy's Edge twice. I have ridden Smugglers Run twice. I was the gunner once. Oh, hey, Willis, 10 minutes is great. Did not even try to get into the cantina. Hey, Mike. So I may try to do that tomorrow. Tomorrow's scheduled to be a little bit less crowded, although it hasn't been crowded at all. So how have I not had coffee? Well, I have it in my hand, Sarah. It's right here. I'm working on it. It's early here. Just haven't had enough coffee. Chris says, I had one creator question. When we watch at increased speed, does it give you credit for full length? Yes, it sure does. And speaking of technical issues, I do have Super Chat turned on. So y'all know that all the money you give to Super Chat goes directly back into the channel. It supports the work I'm doing. It supports things like my being here at VidCon and all of my software. And I just downloaded Final Cut Pro and I'm playing with that, and things cost money. So anything you can do with Super Chat is greatly appreciated, and it's just that $sign down at the bottom. And please make sure, if you're watching, the 66 of you that are here, please. Oh, thank you, Chris. Super Chat from Chris Gable. You are the best, man. I so appreciate you. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up because that will help other people come on, and that will also help me later when we go to playback. They'll go and play back the live stream. So, Galaxy's Edge, let me give, oh, Kirsten, you're right down the road. Hey girl, good to hear from you. Let me give you guys just like my general impressions. Now, this might be interesting because I am not a huge Star Wars fan. I am what they would call a mediocre to good Star Wars fan, okay? And I'm kind of, my impressions of it when I was really tired the first night were different than last night. I will say at the outset, it has not been crowded at all, like at all. In fact, other areas of Disneyland have felt far more crowded to me than Galaxy's Edge. Oh, hey, Ray, good morning. Good morning, Heather. So, I do know that the California residents, hey, I got a super chat from Andrew Brothers. Thank you, Andrew. I so appreciate that, man. Thank you. I'm always so grateful when you're here. So I think it's a couple of different things. I think it's definitely the California annual pass holders that have their passes blocked out right now. That's definitely a factor that's playing into all of this. California, well, Disneyland in California is far more of a locals park than Orlando. So people that go to Orlando, they're going for a full week. They usually have scheduled their vacations far in advance. Sarah Merrill has just given me a $10 super chat. That is extremely generous, Sarah. The thing I love about Sarah is she's one of my closest friends. And if she were here, she would be like running out and buying me coffee and bringing it back to me. It's in my hand. And, you know, at the hotel I'm at, the coffee's free. But Sarah, I promise, when I go downstairs before I head over to VidCon, I am stopping at the coffee place downstairs, and I will definitely be doing that. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Liz, I'll answer that question in just a second about VidCon. So I want to get my thoughts out about Galaxy's Edge because I know a lot of people watching the replay may be interested in that. But if you're not a massive Star Wars fan, okay, there's not a lot to do in there right now. Well, there's not a lot to do right now. Anyway, I had a great chat with our VIP tour guide because I did the Walk in Walt's Footsteps tour. And she's been doing the VIP tours, but she said really an hour is all it takes to do everything there is to do. Good morning, Carla. So it's, Angela's super chat. Angela, thank you for saying that. Angela says I make her morning no matter the topic. Thank you so very much. And Nancy, thank you for that super chat. I really, really appreciate that. You guys are always so generous. And as I said, that's what enables me to be here and do VidCon and bring footage like this to you. So greatly, greatly appreciate it. So it's Smugglers Run was a blast. One of the things that made it super fun both times I wrote it is there were little kids in there. And I think Galaxy's Edge, it's been lost a little bit with all of the mega like adult Star Wars fans to forget that children are the ones that go in there, and they are so fun to watch because they are in it and they are watching. There were 2 times I had a 3-year-old. One time the 3-year-old was the pilot, and watching him up there with that joystick. Oh, Kimberly, thank you. She says, Jen, finally caught you live to send a super chat. You're the bestest, and I even sent Mom your packing videos and luggage reviews. Thank you, Kimberly. That is so appreciated. I love it when you guys tell me that you've shared my videos. Sometimes you say it's your mom or it's your sister or it's whoever. Hey, the Churro Fund. Thank you, Tanya. The Churro Fund. Yeah, we're going to need the Churro Fund, and then we're going to need the Weight Watchers Fund if I keep this up, because I've been indulging in quite a few churros. So as a mediocre Star Wars fan, it is magical. It is immersive. What Walt Disney World ride is Smugglers Run compared to 100% Star Tours. So it is like Star Tours on steroids, okay? And you're actually in the Millennium Falcon, okay? And you sit in chairs. It is not as stressful as I thought it was going to be. If you're the gunner, you can put it on automatic. If you're the engineer, you're basically just pressing flashing buttons. I think if you're the pilot, it's a little more involved, but it was a long ride. It was super fun. There was a lot of humor in there. That was really fun. Oh, I'm glad I made you laugh out loud at work. If I can't get you guys in trouble with your bosses for live streaming at work, then what am I doing here? I'm looking at the Matterhorn right now, just so you guys know. It's so unbelievable that I'm looking out my hotel room window and I can see the Matterhorn. But anyway, do I think Smugglers Run would make you sick? No, I do not. I actually think that the motion is done so well. Heather, I tend to get a little queasy on those kinds of rides. Did not make me sick at all. I did single rider both times I rode it. It was 5 minutes the first time. It was about 15 minutes the second time. I have not done the cantina yet, Allison. There's a system set up where you get a card and then you come back at a certain time. And I haven't done that yet. I think I'm going to try to do that tomorrow. Hey, Manisha, good to hear from you. So, but it just there's been plenty of space to walk around, to explore. And here's when I do my full review, I'll talk about this more in depth. It's very brown. It's very well themed. It's very immersive. However, it's not a place like Pandora for me as just a mediocre Star Wars fan. where I feel like I would want to spend tons and tons of time. So really you're in there for about an hour. I think when they add the second ride, that's going to make a huge difference. And the details and some of the sounds coming out of the forest. And the one thing I was worried about is how you walk in. Hey, Don, no, I did not build myself a lightsaber, and I won't be building a lightsaber, but I saw a lot of other people, and they had cases, like big bags for them and everything. Lots of really fun things. I didn't feel the need to dwell in the space like I did in Pandora. Now, if you're a huge fan, you will feel differently. I have no question you will feel differently. So I thought it was fun. The cast members were great. The PhotoPass photographer I worked with, Adam, was amazing. We basically did like a mini photo shoot in front of the Millennium Falcon, which blew me away. He was so in character, and the cast members are amazing. So it's super fun. Did it completely blow me away? No, it really didn't. Nancy, thank you so much. Nancy Taylor just did a super chat. I appreciate that more than I can tell you. Monica, I have not eaten there other than having the blue milk, which is not milk, and tastes kind of like a tropical icy a little bit. But I am planning on eating there tomorrow, and then I'll do a review of the vegetarian options because it's definitely something on my list of what I wanted to do. So I will for sure be doing that. So yeah, in getting there, there's no big sign, there's none of that. So that makes it feel more incorporated. I was concerned that it would, especially here at Disneyland Park, which has all this, historic significance and all of that, that it would feel super odd. But they did a fantastic job of the way that you walk in. So, my footage from there is not going to be, there's been so much footage of Galaxy's Edge. So if you guys want like fandom Star Wars Edge or Galaxy's Edge footage, then you should go watch somebody else's channel. I mean, not permanently, just stay here for everything else. But I know Michael K did a great job. Allison WDW Girl has done a great job. And so anyway, that's my impression. I was actually happily surprised with how it was incorporated into the rest of Disneyland. Running on Disney asks, what was your favorite part of Galaxy's Edge? I'm planning on going to Disney World in December. So I would say definitely Smugglers Run. Oh, Teresa, thank you for that super chat. I'm glad you caught me live too. That is so much appreciated. I cannot even tell you. Kimberly, thank you for that super chat. You guys are so generous. I was just over at VidCon in the exhibit hall yesterday looking at some new lighting for my basement that's a little more convenient. And so all that money, and I'm trying to make a good economical option. So all that money that you guys give is super helpful because I can actually go over there and go, oh, okay, well, I have a little bit more funds now and I can make a little bit different decisions. So and the expo floor at VidCon is a whole nother story. Michelle, there is a $ at the bottom of your screen. Tia, I won't tell anyone you're at work. And if you press that, this thing pops up and you're able to give money to the channel. So all that to say, hey, Lauren, I'm so glad you're here. Tell the kids I said hi. Terry, so anyway, that's my impression of Galaxy's Edge. Love Smugglers Run. The crowds have been very manageable, and Disneyland itself has been very manageable. I've been using Max Pass, and it has been awesome. So the Walk in Walt's Footsteps tour was, are you and Allison meeting up? I don't know, Cindy, are we? Are Allison and I meeting up? You're just going to have to wait and see. I want to say right now, if you haven't already liked this video, would you please go ahead and do that and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. And I also want to make sure you guys know that next Wednesday, which is my birthday, I'm going to be live streaming over on Joyful Living with Jen LaForge, which is my brand new channel. If you just put in Joyful Living with Jen, it will pop right up. And what I need over there on the new channel is watch time. So if you guys can come to the live stream, watch those videos over there, because I've already qualified for monetization on the subscribers, but I need some watch time. So that would be super helpful. Thanks for my early birthday wishes. I know, I'm going to be 49, you guys. Can you believe? Ah! which then that starts my 50th year. So we know the 50th birthday party starts on 49 plus 1 day. So the launch of the year of Jen's birthday. So the walk and the walk in Walt's footsteps tour. Oh, Tanya, I'm so glad. And yes, Cindy, you need to plan my birthday next year. Was one of the most amazing things I've ever done in my life. And so I would love to share with you in adequate words what it was like to stand in Walt and Lillian's apartment, which was left very much the way that it was when Walt passed. I don't have adequate words. Like it's very small. It's got like Victorian antique design to it. You know, they show you the beds that were like convertible beds where Walt and Lillian slept. And I got in trouble with a cast member. I'm going to do a full review of that tour. Thank you for your early birthday wishes. It's not the years, it's the mileage. I know. I feel, thank you for saying I look great. You guys, age is just a number. I don't mind telling people how old I am. I'm proud of my 49 years. There has been a lot of life, really shoved into that 49 years. And I have, there are things I wish I'd done differently, but I have no regrets. Two different things, right? Okay, sorry. So you stand there. They don't let you film anything. So my review will be a little different than other reviews that I've done. All that to say, the whole tour was amazing. Natalie, our tour guide, was great. And I got emotional multiple times. And if you are a true Disney fan, I think making the trip out here, the tour is, I think it's $100. You get an amazing pin that I'll show you guys when I do the review at the end that you only get if you do that tour. And they feed you. You also get a meal. And yeah, it was absolutely one of the best experiences. One of the best things I've ever done in a Disney park. So, thank you for saying I look young. You know what the thing is about looking young? It's genetic. So I always like to say, Mariah, you have to do it. I always like to say, I want to say thank you for that, but it's in the genes. So it's just what it is. So the weather, Heather, has been amazing. Alyssa, they absolutely have gluten-free options for the tour. You order your food when you first check in, and they have all of the options, vegetarian, gluten-free, all of that. When you call to make your reservation, you may just want to share with them that you're gluten-free, but I know they have those options available. So anyway, I would not hesitate to recommend it. Now, here's the thing about the tour. And again, I don't want to go into too much detail about that because I am going to do a whole video about it. It is 3 hours, 3.5 hours from start to end. So, and it is a ton of walking. So you want to make sure everyone in your party can do that. I always thank my mom and my hairdresser, Danielle. Amen, sister. A big shout out to the great gals at Van Michael Salon. You guys keep me looking good. This is not my natural hair color. It is my natural hair, but it's not my natural hair color. So anyway, walk in Walt's footsteps, definitely do it. Crowds at Disneyland have really surprised me. And I've, honest to God, never been here when it's been this crowded. Last night, I stayed until park closing. And at between 11 and about 11:30, I was able to ride Snow White's Scary Adventure, Peter Pan, Pinocchio's Daring Journey. What else did I ride during that? The Matterhorn. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you guys about. I was like crying. Lisa, thank you so much for the super chat. Love both of your channels. Thanks for the great content and inspiration. Happy early birthday. Thank you so much. It's funny because the other channel isn't monetized. So when I go live on my birthday, you guys won't be able to do that. So I really appreciate it. Oh, Kathy, so much. I really appreciate that super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to doing that video where I give you guys more detail on all of that. So I'm riding the Matterhorn, and I had a Max Pass for it, and they stop it for the beginning of the fireworks, but then they start it up again. So I waited in line for the first part of the fireworks while it was shut down, and then they put us back on it. And I'm like, I have no words. There was no way to film it because the Matterhorn is like such a jerky ride, and I'm not that YouTuber. I don't have like the GoPro attached to my head or any of that. I just got an anonymous super chat. So thank you to whoever that was. I greatly, greatly appreciate that. Anyway, I came out around the corner of the Matterhorn, and it was the finale of the fireworks. And the big, huge, oh, thank you, Jerry. Have fun at Disney World, and thank you for the birthday wishes. The big finale goes off just as we're rounding the corner. And it was one of those moments that you just feel like you're never going to forget. Hey, Daryl, I hope the gondola is ready for our September trip. I know, me too. Kathy, didn't you already do a super chat? She just did another one. Well, Kathy, thank you. I'm not going to say no to that. I really appreciate it. Quick reminder too, if you guys want to support the channel on a regular basis, the way you can do that is through my Patreon page. It is just Jen LaForge on Patreon. So go to patreon.com/Jen LaForge and it will pop right up. You can do as little as $3 a month, and then you'll have access to my podcast, to other exclusive content. And we just do a lot of chatting over there. That's really like my board of directors for the channel. It's kind of who I get my advice from. In fact, yesterday when I was at VidCon looking at some lighting, I was like, I want to spend my patrons' money well. So I'm not buying this right now. I'm going to do my research and I will get back to you. So if you haven't checked out the Patreon page, make sure you go and do that. So anyway, the Matterhorn thing just, you know, as I've shared this story so many times, and most of you that are on here have been watching the channel for a while, so you've heard it so many times. I'm turning into my dad, y'all. My dad had like 6 stories, and you heard the 6 stories. But you know what? I missed those 6 stories, so I'm just going to keep repeating myself. Anyway, as a little girl and never feeling like our time at Disneyland was enough, because we lived here and we did go once a year, but it just, the days were so short to me. And I would have this recurring stress dream of like getting there and it was time to leave and not remembering it and all of that. So walking around, you're watching them from Italy. Antonio, buongiorno. What time is it there? Is that the correct thing to say? I'm not sure. But thank you for that. You're very gracious, Tia. Wandering around last night and thinking, this is so amazing to me that I have not only all the time that I'm having at Disneyland Park, but the time I get to spend in Walt Disney World. It has really fulfilled such a childhood dream for me. And I don't know. It just, there's so many, this place is so thick with memories for me that it's very emotional, very emotional. And I know a few of you, Mariah understands this completely. Thank you, Tanya. My dad is very present with me all the time. I'm not supposed to cry during a live stream, but anyway, here especially. Yeah, so got to move on from that because I'm going to lose it, and that's not good. Dean, thank you so much for that super chat. That is greatly appreciated. That fireworks experience on Big Thunder Mountain, that is very similar to what I had last night. And, you know, it's one of those things where you just can't explain it to people. And what was funny is, love you, Mariah. What was funny is all I kept, God, sorry, 10 years. He'll be gone 10 years in August. So those of you that are still grieving, it's okay. This is what happens. I always say, and Mariah and I have talked about this, when you have a great parent and you lose them, that is what happens. So anyway, okay. Hey, Elise. Okay, getting it together. What were we talking about? Let's talk about churros. If I talk about churros, that will get my mind off of that. Anyway, I wonder if they have a breakout session at VidCon today about what to do when you're crying on live chat. Elise, your dad passed away yesterday? I am so sorry for your loss. I am sending you amazing hugs, and I am going to pray for you as soon as this is over. And I don't ever say that unless I mean it. So I pray that you'll have comfort as you begin the grieving process. That's a big deal. Sarah gets it. Megan gets it. You know, it's what it is. There are a whole bunch of us that are the people who grieve. And it's funny because when you walk through your life, there's other people that haven't lost like that yet. And they don't necessarily get it, or they'll be like, oh, you know, why are you so emotional? So, okay, I'm going to try to power through, you guys. Stop being supportive. Say something. Someone ask a frivolous question, please. I need a frivolous question desperately. Teresa, I am so sorry. 95. Oh my gosh. What a life well lived. What a blessing. 95 years. What I wouldn't have given for that with my dad. So, Megan, I love you. Megan's my favorite, everyone. So what makes Disneyland churros better? Let's talk about that. Disneyland churros are better. I feel like I'm answering an essay question. I believe that Disneyland churros are better because they are from Disneyland and they are churros that are made at Disneyland. It's what happens when you didn't do the reading. How many churros have you had? I am not telling you that because that is nobody's business, Cindy. You need to mind your own business, okay? How many churros I've had is completely my decision. I am a grown woman. So what makes the churros better? They are fresh. They are very hot and crispy on the outside, and they are totally tender on the inside. They are not reheated. They are just better. Disney World churros are Costco churros, and California churros are magic. So I don't know. Walk in Walt's footsteps and get a great churro. That's what I have to say about Disneyland. So what I haven't done yet, I'm sorry, Daryl. What? Daryl has no idea what a churro is. Is that in English? Do you speak Canadian? Daryl's funny. Daryl, would you please have a churro at your earliest convenience? So basically, Daryl, it's like a long cinnamon, donutty, magical, heavenly, amazing thing. And you have to have one at like post haste. There's got to be a place where you live to get churros. We need everyone go Google search Canadian churros and find a place for Daryl to have a good churro. Don't hate on the Costco churros. Now, Madison, let me say this. The Costco churros, if you're in a pinch, you know, a true addict will tell you that anything will work in a pinch. Like if you're desperate, you could go with a Costco churro. I'm just saying, you know, if you can go with a higher quality churro, then that might be the way to go. Allie, did you see Cindy asked if we were going to see each other? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see each other. It's just going to have to wait and see. Oh, Jerry says I don't look like I've eaten a lot of churros. Well, I'm also walking a lot. So there is that. And I might have had churros for dinner. You have churros for dinner? Is that a thing? I thought churros were Mexican. Nancy, Taco Bell churros also lacking. Churros are Mexican, but Taco Bell churros are okay. I mean, again, in a pinch, if you're truly dedicated, it will work. But anyway, so all that to say, yes, I need somebody who makes t-shirts. I'm going to need a shirt instead of I run for wine that says I run for churros. I have never had the churros at Nomad Lounge. So next time we are there together, we're going to have to try that. Liz says, why do you think Disneyland has been able to hold such charm over the years while Disney World is still the big monster that it is? Liz, that's a great question. Liz is one of my patrons, by the way. Always love it when my patrons are on here. Love you guys. There's a lot of my patrons. So again, patreon.com/JenLaForge. Yeah, it's not easy, Celine Bean, when you're on your phone to figure out how to do the like button. I've struggled with that as well. So I think Disneyland has maintained its charm because of its physical footprint, right? Like it can't grow the way that Disney World did. And I know that was why Walt wanted to do the Florida project, but it's enabled it to really hold on to its charm. Kind of like, I would compare it to like a city where it's built out, right? They can't build any more houses. So these neighborhoods that maintain this just really intimate feeling, there's just not a lot of space. There's only so much room there. And the odd thing about being here is that you are surrounded by very busy roads and, 7-Eleven and all of the, Tony's whatever rib place. And it's a very different feel from the immersion standpoint until you walk through those gates. And then it's just like to me, it's every bit as immersive as Disney World, if not a little bit even more so because of the intimacy of it. So I know that there's been a great deal of time and dedication put into making it true to Walt's vision. Oh, I started to tell you guys, I got in trouble. Oh, Jamie, have a great day at work. I hope this gave you some magic to power you through. You think yeah, I do think Disneyland is more immersive, Allison. So I got in trouble on the Walk in Walt's Footsteps tour because you're not supposed, so there's these two chairs in front of the window that's over the firehouse. And that light is left on 24/7 to honor Walt's memory. And it's the window that Walt always used to look out of onto Main Street as the crowds were pouring in. And it was his favorite thing to do. Jackie! Jackie's here from Super Enthused. And you're not supposed to go past where the Ottomans are. The cast member must have said it 16 times. Like, everyone, make sure you stay right here. Like, this is the boundary. And they do it because otherwise, like, guests could see you through the window. You guys, I totally am like, like, I couldn't help myself. It was bizarre. I was like a fly to the flame. I like jumped in front of the window. I mean, I didn't jump. I wasn't violent or anything. They didn't call security on me. But I was so embarrassed because, you know, when you're a rule follower and then you do something wrong, it was like that time in second grade when I got caught chewing gum. Like, I can't stand when I get in trouble. And the cast member was like, let's all remember that we said we need to stay on this side of the ottoman. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. And there's only like 6 people in there, you guys. So it's not like I could awkwardly hide or something like that. Anyway, but that was a tangent. Okay, so what time is it? It is 8:45 right now. I have got to go, you guys. So I'm gonna stay on here for 2 minutes in case anybody wanted to do a last minute super chat. Carol, I'm just getting ready to get off because I actually have to get my act together and go to VidCon. I'm gonna spend, I know, right, Allison? This next couple of days, I will be at VidCon. Stephen, I'll stay on for a couple more minutes. If you guys have any last minute questions, I probably could get away with like 5 more minutes. I've got 4 sessions at VidCon this morning. I had a ton of sessions yesterday. Conferences, those of you that are introverts, and yes, I am an introvert. No one ever believes me. I'm an INFJ, and I fake it super, super well. But conferences are a struggle. Heather, I'm not sharing my hotel for security purposes, but I'll do a full review when I get back. So anyway, I have to spend a lot of time by myself. And all that to say, this is going to be a great day. I'm very excited about my day. I'm hoping to learn lots. Today is all about YouTube as a business. So it's a lot of like lawyery stuff and numbery stuff and budgeting stuff. So definitely, Sarah, going to have a latte on my way over there. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you go over and subscribe on my other channel, Joyful Living with Jen LaForge. And hopefully I'll do another live stream over here. And don't forget, on the 17th, which is my birthday, I'm going to be live streaming over on Joyful Living, if technology works, from Newport Beach. So I love you guys. Thank you to everybody who was here. Thank you to my super chatters. Oh my gosh. And Sarah, I'll leave you with this. You know, I like to leave you guys with a parting thought. Oh, Tanya, thank you so much for that super chat. That is very, very much appreciated. Yeah, July babies unite, right? Sarah and I are great travel companions. Sarah is my best running friend because we are both introverts. So when she and I travel together, there is this, I will totally, Carol, do a creator update about VidCon. There's always this point, and I know she'll agree with me, where one or the other of us is like, need to be alone. Let me just recommend, if you ever travel with other people, and for some of you it might even be your spouse, communicate that. Be like, you know what? And I said yesterday, I left a networking session a little bit early, and I walked up to the people that were running it, and I said, this has been great. I am an introvert, and I just expired. And I walked out of the room, and they were cracking up because it's like, you get it. If you're an introvert, you get there is a point at which you just cannot people anymore. I can no longer people, and you just kind of just power down. So I am now going to power down for a few minutes. I know, Sarah, totally. I'm going to power down for a few minutes. I'm going to, get some more energy, get some more coffee. I'm going to go over and learn a lot, and make sure you stick around, subscribe, hit the bell notifications. Love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.